especially on the windshield, but nobody ever thinks about the rear window. Now, this window, at this time, I had just gotten the car, so I hadn't really gone in and cleaned it in this sort of fashion. But what he's using is a very pliable, it bends pretty easily, and there's a scrub pad on it, but not hard enough where you'd mess up those lines, or you'd break the lines that he alluded to before. So you can see he's scrubbing pretty good. And this, the big difference with tint is if there's any little imperfection, the tint is going to emphasize it. Meaning, if you cut it wrong, the light's going to go through it. You're going to see it and think it's a bad job. But with those lines, if there's any dirt that's on the north side or the south side of that line, or the top or the bottom, it's not going to allow the tint to completely lay flat. Likewise, he's cleaning the edges around the seals. So if the tint goes down in there and catches those seals and they're dirty, look how much dirt is on this from the towel. I mean, it's really gross. If the tint catches that, what's going to happen is it's not going to allow it to perfectly stick to the back of the window, and you have like a little fiber, sort of like a clear bra. If there's any junk or anything in a clear bra and you lay the clear bra down, you're going to see it through the clear bra against the paint, and it's not going to be a great job. So he is militant about cleaning. I've never seen anybody clean it so many times, and he continues here with different brushes and squeegees. Now, as he's cleaning this, I can't help myself as I walk over and I point to the car and tell him there's a little spot right there. My OCD kicked in, and I think he gave me such a dirty look when he's in the back of the car going like, dude, I know where it is. Stop looking at it. By this time, he's sitting in the back of the car. He's pouring sweat. I'm feeling really bad because the angle, the back windows are always notoriously hard, but because this is an older car, the seals were sort of an issue because they hadn't been cleaned in years. So what he had to do is actually use compressed air, which is a new trick I had never seen anybody do. So he'll blow from one end and put the towel on the other, and all the contaminants will get stuck in the towel as he's blowing it out. So it's 100% clean. And then normally, he'll go back and just clean up the little lines, which he told me are kind of the real difficult part, where you just leave one little line where the film can't lay completely flat, and you've basically ruined your entire tint, and you got to start all over with that process, which is a nightmare. So once he finds something that's a little off, he scrubs it down again and then goes through the whole process. Mistake is going to be visible because you're working with glass, which I find pretty interesting. Now, he told me, off camera, that it was pretty common to have the corners have some issues. So you can see he's gently pushing the water and the soap out, and then he'll slide the air pocket out. But he was saying, if I push too hard right now, I could actually crimple, put a little crimp in the film here and have to start all over again. So this process, by the way, probably took 2 or 3 hours, and he wasn't doing anything, special because we were there. That was just the process. So now that it's sort of up there, but not really on the glass perfectly, he goes up to another squeegee, and the squeegee was like a medium. So the first one was pretty soft. This one was a little bit harder, but a medium. And he's just squeezing out the water, but still being gentle. And towards the end of the job, he says, this is a hard card. And it's sort of like a credit card, a little bit bigger, a little bit sturdier, and he'll actually get all the air out that way, and then cleans it up, the little bit of squirting, the water that squirts out on the side with a clean paper towel. Now that the back window's done, we need to do a little space, because when you went up into the windowsill, it would pull the film down as you went in there. So they actually left a little space. So when you rolled your window down, there was a gap of light, which is kind of annoying. Now in this state, and this particular film is SunTech, they make this 3-part film that's much stronger. So what he's going to do is put it up to the very, very top of the glass, and he's going to take a razor blade and razor blade that top area, so that there's no gap, no space, or no light coming through. So he'll run his finger all the way across the glass. Now you have a perfect fit. But the next thing you got to think about is, hey, how do I move that glass down without causing any issues in terms of crimpling it and sort of ruining it, if you will. So he nicely puts the window up. I remember we were talking about that. Like, hey, how do you do that without causing any issues? And then he'll put these tiny little cut marks, these little creases in, and then take it over to the big board and straight razor blade it, so that he now has 2 perfectly cut out windows, and he'll just reverse them for each side, which I thought was pretty cool. Over the years, when I owned my detail shop, is he'd have to take off those panels so that the tint would go in smoothly and not have any fibers or anything in there stuck behind it. And of course, gonna have to re-clean the glass and to the nth degree. And if you remember, right now he's using a razor blade, and we talked about that in our window cleaning. So he certainly has given me some wonderful advice over the years as to how to clean glass, because he's the ultimate glass cleaner, because his business is based on whether the film and the things that he does to it is clean. And if it's not, the first thing people do when they look at window tint is they go right up to the tint and they look through the glass, and if there's something there, they're going to have issues, and for him to go back and do it again, or bend the film to go into the glass guard, which is the where your glass goes down. It has that little fibers that clean the glass off as it goes up and down. So now he doesn't have to worry about those little fibers going in because he took the door off.
Rob here at Infinite Tint has been amazing, and I'm loving the new tint on the 964. It totally completes the look of the car. For a PDF of things you should know before tinting your windows, and to check out our gallery of window tint inspiration, visit Ammo NYC.